Hello guys, back with another prediction for UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira. Good card. I'm looking forward to it. I'm more looking forward to the aftermath, what could come from this card. I think we could have some really big things come out of this. I'm going to start with the first fight on the main card, which is Peyton Tabit versus Felipe Lima. Now, people forget, man, that Felipe Lima was on a 4-fight win streak before his last fight. Now, Lima is just a typical Brazilian guy who's going to probably cause problems and really try and irritate Talbot. Like, he's a flair kind of guy. He likes to strike. He likes to show off. He likes to get that highlight reel finish, and he's not really the type of fighter that you want to be fighting when you're coming up, when you want to get that. Like, if Talbot wins this fight, it's going to be a close fight. It's not going to be like a headline making performance, and I feel like that's going to be the downfall at this point, because once you've lost a fight when you're an up-and-coming prospect, you kind of lose a bit of that shine. So Talbot's going to feel like he needs to come out here and re-establish that. I can't see it happen. I can honestly see Talbot getting beat here again. Lima's just good everywhere. Good grappling, good striking. I can see like a really career-destroying performance here where it's just going to be a boring decision victory for Lima. I think, you know, we had the big Raoni Barcelos kind of performance in the last fight where Barcelos basically bullied Talbot. I feel like in this fight, it's just going to be just an outclassing, basically, of Talbot. I think he's going to get beat probably 29-28, 30-29, sorry. He's not going to be able to get his offense off. I feel like he might land a few shots early. He might edge the first, but then I feel like he's going to get dominated in the next two and he'll get beat 30-29. Moving on. Fight number 2 on the main card. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Now, Beneil is the most boring man in MMA. He really has nothing to give as far as promotional value. Like, I cannot believe that the UFC are giving him the chance to even possibly sneak a win in here and get himself up the division. Like, Moicano, he tries so hard, man. I love him. He's just one of my favourite fighters. Like, he really tries to give his all to the fans. He hasn't quite got that charisma that can transform to like being a superstar, but he does try. Broken English. And then you've got Dariush, who speaks perfect English, but he's just the most boring man on earth. So, I mean, it's a fight that obviously was meant to take place at the beginning of the year in January. It's happening now. It was meant to take place at 3:11. I think Moicano is going to get the victory. I really worry for him though, because I just don't see who he's going to fight next. They're not going to give him Paddy at this point. Paddy's probably going to fight for the belt next. They're not going to give him Gaethje, because what's the point in that fight? It's not a big fight, and Gaethje's not going to take that fight. So I feel like Moicano's going to win this fight, but I just don't think he's going to get anything out of it. I think he's going to win it by sub. I do think he'll probably... What I can picture happening in this fight is that, similar to the Makhachev fight, Moicano is going to be being quite comfortable, quite safe, trying to be a bit patient. I can see Dariush going for a takedown, Moicano stuffing it, and then I can just see Moicano just ground and pounding Dariush to fuck, because he's old and fucking haggard at this point. I can see Dariush just getting his head caved in by Moicano, man. I can see a similar performance to the Benoit Saint-Denis. I can see just Moicano getting his head completely caved in by Moicano. I can see Moicano catching him with a ground and pound shot, maybe with a 12-6 elbow to the top of the head, like a la Paddy against Chandler. And then I can just see him catching him, stinking onto the back, and then just getting a rear naked choke finish. I can see it being a really sad end to Beneil's career, because he's not fought for a while, and he looked washed in that Arman fight, man. People are really overrating Arman in that fight. Like, Charles Oliveira, fair enough, he won that fight against Charles at 300, but Charles hasn't got it anymore, man, as you're going to see later in my prediction. So yeah, I think it's going to be a rear naked choke, second round, late in the second, finish for Renata. Moving on, fight number 3 on the main card, Kai Kara-France versus Brandon Royval. Mate, Kai Kara-France really annoys me. He's like that white guy who wants to be quirky, and he just wants to like have some kind of like culture to him, so he has to pretend that he's like Maori. He's not. He's just a bald white man with a receding hairline at this point. But I mean, like I say, if he wants to trauma dump on people in the UFC on International Fight Week, he can do that. But I'm hoping beyond God that this guy gets the shit beaten out of him. Like, he cries, "Ooh, I got my English name of Kai." Look, the English rule, basically. Like, get over it. We are the English Anglo-Saxon warriors. Shut up. Stop crying. But he's crying about the fact that he uses the name Kai, which I'm not even fully sure is an English name. But, I mean, fair enough. So, he's going to get beat up here, I think, by Pantoja. I think Pantoja's got the advantage here. I think he's probably going to use a lot of grappling in this fight because, as you saw in the Asakura fight, as you saw in that fight, he looked really really slick on the ground in those transitional periods. He looked really just on the ball in that fight. That was probably the most impressive performance I've seen Pantoja have since beforehand winning the belt. Like, people say he's right when he won the belt against Moreno, that was a good performance. Like, he just looks so much slicker than even back then. I know that obviously before the title fight he'd already beat Moreno, but in his last fight against Asakura, he just looked really almost John Jones-esque, to be honest with you. Like, he just, every position, he just looked like, sometimes you watch a fight and you think there's no way this guy's going to get beat. Like, I could not see Asakura landing a shot on him, even though that was his main route to victory. And it ended up being a pretty comfortable performance, like I say. I really do think Pantoja is going to replace Mighty Mouse as the GOAT of this division. He doesn't get the fanfare he deserves, but I really see him in this fight using that grappling and really getting his own way against Kai. I just don't think Kai's going to be able to get any success. And I've seen a lot of people picking us Kara-France, but I just don't think he's got a chance. I think he's going to get mauled, beaten up, ground and pound. I think the main thing that people are underestimating in this fight is the fact that Pantoja is really underrated with his striking. He tends to really do a good job of tucking his chin. And when he lands shots, he always is looking for that level change. So he's going to be causing Kara-France a lot of anxiety because he's going to be really looking to give him problems, basically. Give him options of like, oh, I could land this overhand, but I could also take you down and then 12-6 elbow you facing until you end up realising that the Anglo-Saxons are superior to your gay fucking Maori family who you seem to have a trauma dump about every single time you fight. So I think he's going to win. I think Pantoja's going to get the win. I think he's going to just outclass Kara-France. I don't want to see him again. I'm glad that Albazi got the robbery. I don't like him. And my prediction is a third round ground and pound stoppage for Ayandra Pantoja. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening. Or should I say the main event of the evening? The reason I say co is because, let's be honest, this shouldn't be the main event of International Fight Week. I'm going to have a rant here. The fact that Topuria versus Charles Oliveira is the main event of the biggest UFC card of the year. I've not seen enough people talking about this. Like, people, I've heard people saying, oh, the card's not great, but at least the main event's good. This is not a main event fight of basically the WrestleMania of UFC. Like, UFC 314 had more star power than this card. Like, you had Volk versus Lopez, who was hot at the time. You had Paddy versus Chandler. You had blooming Pitbull coming in against Jair Rodriguez, who was like the Mexican crowd. You know, he's got the name. You've got you've got Gene Silva versus fucking Bryce Mitchell as the fourth fight. That wasn't even a fucking featured fight. That's how big that card was. So, look, Ilia Topuria really annoys me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you can say it's because I'm English, I'm biased. No, he just really pisses me off. Like he's saying Paddy doesn't deserve the title shot. Ilia Topuria literally beat Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett to earn a title shot. People seem to forget that the only reason he got a title shot is because Volk had run through the division. So Ilia had to fight Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett, who we went to a decision with, to earn a title shot. Like, people complain about Lerone going to a tight decision. Like, Ilia did the same thing. And then Paddy had to beat Michael Chandler, Bobby Green, Jared Gordon, which I know was a close fight, but that's looking like a better and better win as time goes on. You know, after his last performance, and I mean, Paddy's record is actually better than Ilia's before he fought for the featherweight belt. Like, in my opinion, like, Bryce Mitchell, let's face it, I know we all love Bryce, he's not that good of a fighter. And Josh Emmett is basically Michael Chandler 2.0, but with, you know, they're basically the same fighter, but slightly different weight divisions. So the fact that in this fight, I think Ilia is going to win. To cut a long story short, I do think he's going to win this fight. But if he does not spend this, like, give this opportunity, because he's lucky that he's had the run that he's had to fight Charles Oliveira for this title, because Islam would have battered the fuck out of him. If he does not use this opportunity to call out Paddy, then, mate, honestly, this guy is Bin Laden. Like, it's the only fight to make at this point. I don't want to watch Gaethje get another shot. I don't want to watch Arman Tsarukyan get a shot when he's clearly just... If he did win, which I'm not denying he could, he's good, Arman. He's going to be the most boring champion of all time. Do the Paddy Ilia fight, either one. It's going to be a champion that's marketable. We need that in the UFC right now. And I really do think that Paddy had beat Ilia Topuria. I really do. But I think Ilia's going to win this fight. I think he's going to win the fight by TKO in the third. I think he's going to lure Charles into a false sense of security in the first two. I feel like he's going to use his grappling, which I feel people aren't going to expect in this fight. He hasn't used that since the Mitchell fight. I feel like he's going to go back to that because it's the first wrestler he's faced since then. And then I think he's just going to overwhelm Charles, to be honest with you, on the feet. When he these transitional periods are so important in MMA. Like, when you get back to your feet and there's that little flurry of elbows as you're getting back, Ilia is so good at just keeping you under pressure and staying at that range. So I think Ilia is just going to end up getting the knockout. I'll be honest, it's going to be sad to watch. He's going to end up KOing Charles against the fence. I could even see it looking similar to the McGregor-Mendez KO. And then I think he's just going to collapse to his knees, and just get grounded out from there. And it's going to be sad for any fan of the UFC who doesn't like Ilia and loves Charles, but that's what we've got to deal with. So I think Ilia is going to get a third round TKO after using his grappling in the first two rounds and executing a lot of intelligent pressure and just using his superior range management. He's not as wild as Charles, and he's got that more stocky frame, so he can duck down and get them takedowns under the punches better. So that's my prediction. If Ilia does not call out Paddy, I'm honestly done with this division in general. Like, we need that fight. He can say that, ooh, Gaethje deserves it more. He doesn't. We've seen that. Ilia would knock out Gaethje. Paddy would beat Gaethje. Just do the fight, man. Thanks for watching, guys, and tune in to the card, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it.